what you need to realize in order to become successful is that you need the right operating system, which is a system of beliefs which your brain runs on. It's basically like a supercomputer, right? A computer needs a motherboard, it needs a processor, it needs a graphics card. Basically, all of these things run together, and the better they are, the more efficient the computer is going to be. And that is basically what belief systems are for your brain. If your brain has the best belief systems, then you will be able to work as efficiently as possible as you can to be able to achieve whatever that it is that you want to achieve. So in this video, I'm going to give you 9 beliefs or ideas that you should implement, and they will help you out a lot in your journey. So the first one is, it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true. Okay? So our beliefs form our reality. If you want proof, look at any successful person ever. 9 times out of 10, that person became successful in their mind first before manifesting that success into reality. Basically, what this is trying to say is the world is very gray. There's no really black and white. People can think that the world is black or the world is white, but the reality is that it's a very gray area. There's not a single answer for everything that is correct, because there's just millions of different perspectives, and to each perspective, whatever they believe is true, which we're gonna get into later in the video. But basically, you can choose to believe whatever that you want. You could choose to believe positive optimism, or you could choose to believe negative pessimism. And whichever one you choose, it's true. Whichever one you choose is you're gonna see it, because that's how the brain works. The brain works in a way that whatever that you look for, you're gonna find. If you were to look at cars because you're planning to buy a car, let's say you look at a Honda Civic Type R, right? You're gonna look at them online first, right? And then you're gonna visualize you owning it, because let's say you just really love that car for some reason. And then when you go out on the street, for some reason, you're gonna start seeing Honda Civics Type Rs. What's the reason for that? Well, your brain acts like a filter by which you see the world. So since your brain is so focused on Honda Civic Type Rs because you are planning to buy one, you will start to see out in the street Honda Civic Type Rs. And this applies to pretty much anything. Another point with this belief is that when you're first getting started, a lot of people aren't going to believe in you. A lot of people will think you're crazy. A lot of people will say that it's not possible, that you're not gonna make it, that you're not gonna have success, that you should just follow a more traditional path, that sort of stuff. And if you adapt those beliefs, then it will be true. If you listen to them, then you aren't gonna make it. You aren't gonna reach your goals. You aren't gonna get to the life that you want to get to. But if you create the belief that you can make it, and you focus really hard on solidifying those beliefs, you really make sure that they are stuck to your head, like you just live by them day in and day out, then they will come true. Some examples that I wrote down are Jeff Bezos. In the early days of Amazon, no one believed he would succeed at selling books through the internet because you could easily go to your local library or bookshop. Elon Musk was doubted when he said he would build fully electric vehicles or reusable rockets. Also, Mr. Beast, also known as Jimmy, his mom didn't believe that he could make money from making videos online. He actually lied to his mom, saying that he was going to school, but he had dropped out of school and he was making videos while he was gone, while his mom thought that he was going to school. So basically, this first belief is just saying that whatever you believe is true, because with work that will come true. So as long as you're putting in the work, you're creating a plan and you're implementing that plan towards your goal, then with time, your desired reality will come true. And whatever it is that you're believing in your head will come true. Even though it might not be true right now, it will come true. The second belief is where you are in life, your current situation, it's all you're doing. Yeah, that's right. Where you are right now is 100% on you. Not your parents, not the economy, not your circumstances, you. And before you get triggered and say, but man, that's not true, I didn't think that. The reason it's easy to victimize yourself is because it takes the blame away from you, and you avoid all the pain that comes with accepting that you are 100% responsible for your miserable little life that you created for yourself. But it's true. You built this life because you are a human being that is gifted with consciousness and the ability of free will. This isn't a burden, it's a superpower. When you realize that you're in control of your own reality, you regain the control that you were giving away before the uncontrollable circumstances to change your life for the better. I kind of messed it up at the end there. You regain the control that you were giving away before the uncontrollable circumstances. Oh, you regain the control that you were giving away before to uncontrollable circumstances to change your life for the better. So basically, when you accept that your current situation is because it's a 100% correlation to all the actions, all the decisions that you made in the past. When you come to the conclusion that it's all because of you, pretty much, because the only thing that you can control in this world is you. You can only control your decisions, your thoughts, your words, your actions. That's the only thing you can control in this world. We have free will. I can move my hand, I can open and close it. I can do the work. I can lift weights. I can get up in the morning really early even though I don't want to, because I have free will. And you do too. But that's the only thing you can control, just yourself. You can't control the economy. You can't control your parents. You can't control your family. You can't control your friends. So there's no point in blaming any of that, because the only thing that you can blame is yourself, because that's the only thing you can control, yourself. Number 3, reality can be whatever you want it to be. The universe was created from practically nothing. We're humans are merely an evolution of light, a waveform that is experiencing consciousness. And what we perceive to be reality is simply a magnificent illusion. Basically, there is no difference between an idea and reality. They both exist. The same way that humans were simply just a concept that evolution brought to life, every idea that you have in your brain can be brought to life as well. We create our own realities through our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. The best way to live life is to evolve yourself and achieve whatever you want, to become whoever you want to be. Basically, this is the belief that reality is not really what it seems, pretty much. This is like kind of getting into like the visualization and manifestation stuff, which I do sort of believe in, but I believe more that you can bend reality by putting in the action, not just by manifesting and visualizing every day without doing anything. That doesn't work. So you just want to have the idea that reality can be whatever you want it to be, pretty much. Just stay open to that, because a lot of people believe that reality just is what it is and you can't control it. But that's not true. I think humans are like probably the one species in the whole planet that has this ability. This is why we're the number one animal in the animal kingdom, you know? Because we have consciousness. No other animal can create a plan and execute on it. And I mean, I'm sure maybe they could in a smaller scale, but they can't do it in the scale that we can, which is a pretty big freaking scale. Number 4, this is a good one. We are not the highest version of ourselves, which we can imagine. We're the lowest version of ourselves, which we can accept. Okay? So pretty much, we usually think of the highest version of ourselves as something that we want to strive for, as like a dream, like the dream outcome, you know, you want to get there at some point, and that's like your your dream come true, or that's like your fantasy world, like that's like your perfect world, like your perfect scenario, right? But you will never reach that. Why? Because that's just a want. It's not a need. What you will strive is your standards. So right now, if your standard is you live in your mom's house and you get fed and you don't really pay for anything and you kind of want to make money, but like you're doing fine, you know, like you're getting taken care of, like you're good, you know, like you don't really have to do anything, you know, like you're still getting taken care of by your parents and stuff. So you're just like kind of chilling, you know, like you're just vibing, and you're never gonna make money online. Basically, if you want to achieve something, you have to make it your standard. This is why the most successful people are never happy with their lives. And some of them even go into depression. But I think that's like another thing. Really, really successful people usually are very, like they strive for a lot. I forgot the word, bro. They just always strive for more. Even they could be millionaires, they could be multimillionaires, but they're not happy enough with their lives. Why is this? Because they know that if you make something your standard, then you will achieve it. So let's say I have a net worth of $1 million, right? But I want to get to $1 billion. Realistically, do I need to? No, not really. I don't need to. I could just live the rest of my life on my $1 million net worth, right? Do I want to? Yes. So in order for me to achieve that, it has to become a standard. So now every time I think about myself not having $1 billion, it's like I'm breaking my standards because I'm not there yet. So therefore, I will do everything in my power to get there as soon as possible, because it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable in your head, and that's how you have to think about your goals. If you haven't achieved your goals yet, it's unacceptable. You cannot think about anything else other than reaching your goals, because it's a standard. You have to achieve it. You have to. You need to. It's not a want, it's a need. So change your goals from being a dream, from being something that you hope to achieve someday, and change it into something that needs to happen. Number 5, master your patterns of existence. This isn't really a belief, but something you should know and keep in mind that will help you out a ton in your journey. A quick story, a buddy of mine that was in the online business for a few years already, his first 2 years of making money from his online business, his bank account would always hover around the 1 to 5K mark. So when you're in business, you can pretty much control your income because you control like a bunch of factors about your business. So pretty much like you're in control of how much money you make. So a buddy of mine, in his bank account for like 2 years, he was stuck. Every time he would look at it, it would be like anywhere between like 5K and 1K, right? So basically what would happen is he would be at 1K, right? And that would be his standard, okay? So his standard was 1K. Anytime he like went below 1K or it got close to 1K, I mean, he would push harder in his business and make more money because he can't go below 1K. That was his standard, right? It's unacceptable to go below 1K. Then he would get to around 5K, and that was like his comfort zone. That was like his, okay, I'm good here. Like, this is all the money I need. Like I don't need more. So then he would get comfortable, and then he would go back down. He would spend money, and he would get to 1K again. And once he got to 1K again, urgency would kick in, and then he would say, this is unacceptable, and then I'm getting to 5K again, right? So it's kind of like a wave pattern, right? Kind of like a stock chart that there's highs and lows, right? But it stays between like these two lines, right? It stays between these two lines, and there's highs and lows, but the highs and lows stay pretty much the same. And this is what I mean by your patterns of existence. Humans are constantly in war between who they are and who they want to become. This creates a waveform of highs and lows, like I said. The key is not to eliminate these waves, but to become a master at reading them. Learn to recognize your patterns. When you feel a downward spiral coming, catch it. And when you're riding a high, understand what created it. So this buddy of mine, now he's at, like, he has a multi-million-dollar business. He went far beyond 5K in his bank account. But that changed the moment that he realized this, right? He realized that there was a pattern going on, and that every time he would get closer to 1K, he would make more money. And every time he got closer to 5K, he would start slacking off. So once he realized this, he said, okay, well, what is it about having 1K in my bank account that makes me push harder? And then he thought to himself, okay, well, it's just a standard of mine. I can't go below 1K because then I'll feel broke. And then 5K was just like, it felt to him like a lot of money. So he would just stay comfortable. And then once he realized that, he pretty much fixed his brain as to say that 5K is not a lot of money. He changed his paradigm basically. And he would tell himself 5K is not a lot of money. 5K means I'm broke, right? And insert whatever amount here is the new standard, right? And then you just keep doing that over and over again. And then once you become aware of this, and then you see the lows whenever you start to gain urgency, and you see the highs whenever you start to get comfortable, you identify them, and then you're able to shift both of them to a higher amount. Number 6, there is no right or wrong. It's all a gray area. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Throughout your journey, there will be a multitude of times where you question what you're doing, what you should do in the future, or what you did in the past. This is one of the reasons 99% of people fail in business, because it's hard to figure out the right answer to your problem, the correct answer, or the best solution. A lot of times people will question their own morals and life philosophy to try to figure out what's right and wrong. The truth is, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what your goal is and how you are going to accomplish that goal. Once you figure that out, don't question the process. The key to all evolution is variation. And sometimes you might do something that doesn't feel right at the moment, but ends up being a genius chess move later on. On the other hand, you might do everything that everyone considers is correct and find yourself in a life full of despair. So lose the binary stance of one true right or wrong and one true me and not me. Nothing is static, and everything in this universe is forever becoming. The real question is, who am I becoming? So I talked about this a little bit earlier. It's basically saying that there is no one definite correct answer. There is lots of answers. There is lots of responses to a certain situation that can give you good effects in your life, that can provide good realities for yourself. But there is no true one answer. So this kind of goes hand in hand with people that are stuck in analysis paralysis, right? So a lot of people I know that want to get into this online business space, and they get into everything pretty much. They research everything. They research wholesaling, real estate. They research stock trading. They research freaking marketing, digital products. They research sales, closing and setting. They research growth operating. They research e-commerce, drop shipping. They research Etsy. They research freaking YouTube automation, faceless, AI, models, OnlyFans, management. Like, I've heard of everything, right? And basically what's happening is you're trying to figure out which one's the right vehicle for you to make money, right? The truth is, okay, maybe yeah, one of them is better than the others for you, but there's always going to be so many options. Like, opportunities are abundant. There's always going to be an abundance of opportunities. You can't be stuck in analysis paralysis forever or for a very long time. What the rich people do is they just take action relentlessly, the first thing that they come across, and after a while, they analyze the results from their actions, and then they come to a conclusion to see if this is the right thing that they should keep pursuing or if it's not. If it's not, then they will move on to the next thing that they come across and take relentless action. But if it is the right thing, then they're already way ahead of the person that is still stuck in analysis paralysis, and they still haven't taken any action, pretty much. And I know this happens to a lot of people in the online space right now. And a lot of people say, SMMA is the best thing to do right now, or dropshipping is the best thing to do right now. And then some people say, like, dropshipping's dead, SMMA is dead, like this other thing is dead, do this instead, right? And they all contradict each other. The truth is, yes, there are market differences, right? They are changing markets. Some markets are a little bit more saturated than others, but the truth is that they all work. They all work. If you're hearing about it, it's because someone made it happen. And if someone made it happen, then you could probably make it happen too. Like 90% chance you can make it happen too, if someone else made it happen, okay? So everything works. Everything works. You could try one thing 1 month, and if it doesn't work, try another thing. And chances are you just need 2 tries maximum to make one of those 2 things work. So you could try, like, let's say SMMA 1 month, but really go hard at it. Like, give it your all. Like, cold call 300 businesses a day, right? Type shit. And then if it doesn't work at all for some reason, which it should, if you're giving it your all, it should work, then you could try something different for some reason. And then you give it your all the next one, and it should work. Like, it should really only take like 2 tries at like 2 different things. Number 7, our minds are programmed in accordance to our beliefs, which come from our life experiences. Okay, so basically this is saying that our experiences dictate our beliefs. So the reason why people believe what they believe is because of their experiences, okay? So we all have different perspectives, okay? Some people could have the perspective that everyone in the world is a bad person and that humanity is evil and that humanity should die because everyone is evil. But the reason why they have that perspective is because they probably had some pretty bad experiences with humans in their life. They were probably bullied, abused, whatever, assaulted, like whatever. And that is why they have that perspective. They probably have experienced a lot of negativity in their lives, and they haven't experienced a whole lot of positivity. That is why their perspective is true to them, okay? On the other hand, a person who sees all the good in the world, which is it's not very common, right? But the reason why they see all the positive stuff in the world is because they are able to focus in on only the good stuff that they have experienced, not just the bad stuff. They put the bad stuff aside, right? And they just focus on the good stuff. And then it's just easier to believe that, or it's just easier to put the focus on your experiences that were positive instead of the negatives. So I made an example with political standings. If you're not political, just stay with me for a second, okay? It's basically 2 sides, right? A blue side and a red side. Secretly, if you have your political beliefs, put them aside for a second, okay? Because if you're really, really on one side, then this might trigger you a little bit, but I'm in the middle here, and you should be too. And I'm gonna tell you why. Secretly, both sides want the same thing. They both just want to live a better life, okay? That's all they want. They both just want to live a better life. Now, obviously, there's different ideologies, there's different values, different beliefs, whatever, but they both want the same thing. And the reason why they have the different values and beliefs and perspectives is because what I just said, perspectives. They have different experiences in their lives that makes them believe different things, but they both want the same thing. They both want a better life. So they both want a better life, but they both believe that the way to achieve that better life is through different ways, pretty much. Okay? And they're both right. They're both right. They're both correct. But they're both also incorrect. It's a gray area, remember? This is why I'm in the middle. I used to be really on one side before, and then I consumed the other side, and then my beliefs started to change. But then I realized that both sides have an extreme end, right? There's extremism on both sides, pretty much. And then I started to take things from the other side with a grain of salt, and I realized that the truth is somewhere in the middle, right? You got to stick somewhere in the middle. And so basically, the reason why people have the beliefs that they have, the reason why people are on the end of the spectrum that they are in, is because of the experiences that they have experienced, which form the beliefs that they have, which form the values that they have. But secretly, they both want the same thing: to live a better life. Number 8, break free from mental feedback loops. We talked about our beliefs dictating our reality. This means that whatever we think will manifest into reality, and we will end up thinking about it even more. Take, for example, someone who believes they can't get over their ex, right? That person will go through life constantly thinking they can't get over their ex. Therefore, they will be attracted to listening to heartbreak songs, and then that music will subconsciously program their mind further. And then they will try dating again, and they likely will not find the right person on the first try, and they will blame it on not being over their ex. And basically, any little inconvenience that happens in their love life or anything, they will get blamed on not being over their ex. And the perspective is what and the perspective is what turns an experience into a good or bad experience, basically. So if you keep having a negative perspective, you will keep having negative experiences, and therefore develop more negative thinking. The same is true for the opposite. It's basically looking for proof in whatever it is that you believe. We all do it automatically without thinking. And we all find proof where we are looking for. So now that you're aware of that, go and look for proof that will help you develop positive thinking. It's pretty much the same concept as with the Honda Civic Type R, right? But it's like a little bit different because this is a reinforced belief. Every time that you look for something and then you find it, you will get reinforced into that belief. And these feedback loops and thinking patterns can be the best thing in the world, or they can be very, very dangerous, because if you have negative feedback loops, they can break you down all the way to the point where you consider taking your own life. And if you do the opposite and you have positive mental feedback loops, then they can build you up all the way to whatever it is that you want to achieve imaginable. You can reach anything that it is that you want. So beware of mental feedback loops. If you realize that you have a mental feedback loop and it's negative, then you have to do your absolute best to change that right now and change it into a positive feedback loop, whatever it is. If you think the world is a messed up place, and then you go and look at the news, which, by the way, don't look at the news, bro. Like, it's basically designed to instill fear into people for whatever reason. I'm not going to get into it, but it's basically meant to instill fear in people. So if you believe the world is a bad place, and then you go look at the news, and then the news reinforce your belief, it gives you that feedback, and then you believe it even harder. And then it's just a cycle. It keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Stop that cycle, okay? Because it will not end well for you. If you do that for a long enough time, then you will be a pessimistic person. You will not be able to achieve much at all, because you're just not going to believe that the world is good enough for you to achieve stuff, pretty much, okay? Now the last one, number 9. You are the master of your character. Okay, this is a good one. So most people's character has become so strong and defined that it's reversed the roles and pulling the strings on its own master. You have to pin your character down and define exactly who it is and what it's capable of, and then figure out what you really want to achieve in life and see if that character is fit for the job. If the character isn't fit for the job, it's time to design one who will achieve it with ease and make the conscious decision to grow into it. Your character is changeable and you pull your strings. So basically, this person that you are right now is a character. You can change the character. It's not 100% just who you are right now. Like, that's not 100% who you're gonna be forever. You could change it. You could change it. Okay? Sometimes the character that we're embodying at the moment can become so solidified in us that the character starts to pull the strings on whatever our lives, pretty much. So when that happens, sometimes people go down paths that they don't want to go down because the character is pulling them down that path. What successful people do is they pin down the character and they change the character depending on whatever it is they want to achieve. So basically, the character that you are right now is probably not the one that is going to make a lot of money, okay? Why? Because if it was, then you would have already made it, okay? Now, depending on what it is that you want to achieve, how much money you want to achieve, all of that stuff, you need to design a different character that is going to be able to achieve that, okay? And then another thing, a lot of people say believe in yourself, right? You might hear this from your parents, from your teachers, from your friends. Believe in yourself. But that's not true, because your current version of yourself is just not capable of achieving what it is you want to achieve. Because like I said, if it was, then you would have already achieved it. The person that you want to believe in is the person you're becoming, the character you're becoming, okay? So you want to believe in that person. You want to put all your faith and hope into that person, not your current person, not your current character, because your current character isn't doing anything good for you. You want to put all your faith in the character that you're developing that will be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. So some more practical advice would be figure out what it is that you want to achieve, how much money you want to make. Let's say it's 10K a month, whatever. And then figure out what the person that makes 10K a month looks like. What would they do? How early would they wake up in the morning? What would their morning look like? Would they hit the gym? How many hours would they work a day? What would they eat? Who would they hang out with? What does their environment look like? All of that sort of stuff, right? And then you just copy what that character would do and then just embody the character, and the reality follows the character pretty much. So yeah, believe in your future character, not your current character, because your future character is the character that is going to be able to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. But that's pretty much it. If you guys want more cool stuff, you can check out my past videos. If you guys need some help with where you are in life, or you want to get like some advice from me, you can feel free to hit me up on Instagram and I'll help you out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Take care. Peace.